Well, climate change legislation is moving forward. Senator Barbara Boxer moved the bill out of her committee, despite the fact that no Republicans showed up for that vote when the committee voted. So it is moving forward, but where does it stand? All this week on the special report page on FoxNews.com, thousands of you voted on what topic we should discuss during the Friday lightning round. The first topic, your choice online, the prospects of cap-and-trade legislation and where it stands. We're back with the panel. Steve, shocking vote, by the way.
Yeah, it's the legislation is moving forward and going nowhere. There is not going to be any serious cap-and-trade legislation that looks anything like what Senator Boxer moved out. And if there were to be, Republicans would be overjoyed, and they hope that it would be later and closer to the election next year because they think it's good for them.
What about from an administration point of view, Chris?
It's not going anywhere. Steve, it's exactly right. I think you have to.
And does the president go to Copenhagen?
That I don't know the answer to. I think that the president recognizes that forcing Democrats, especially those in tough districts, tough states, to swallow some form of health care bill because they need something to pass for his political future is a tough enough pill. The idea that we're going to all of a sudden roll into cap and trade, which is even more controversial in some of these places, swing states, and you already have senators and members of Congress coming out against it, is not going to happen. Certainly not in 2010. Almost nothing happens legislatively in election years, and nothing this big and this controversial will.
Charles.
It's toxic. Look, every once in a while, rationality breaks out in Congress. It's rare, but it does happen. And on this, it is so obvious that in the middle of a recession with huge unemployment, if you're going to impose cap and trade, which is going to be an enormous increase in energy taxes and in energy rates, in electricity rates, and in taxation in the middle of a recession, is, even in Congress, is too insane an idea to ultimately enact.
Next topic, Fox confirmed a story that first appeared in The Guardian that there is real concern in the IAEA, a secret report that Iran is moving forward, testing technology to make warheads small so they can fit on a missile. The House and Senate committees, intelligence committees have been briefed on this. What about this in the big context of Iran? Charles.
Look, if this is true, the real scandal here is the 2007 National Intelligence Estimate, which had said that Iran had stopped nuclear program in 2003. It was obvious at the time that it wasn't so. It needs to be repealed, repudiated, and a new estimate put in place. It is scandalous.
Chris.
You know, the Obama candidate, not President Obama, put a lot of stake in this policy of engaging rogue nations. Very controversial in the primary, criticized by Senator Clinton, among others, controversial in the general election, although ultimately overwhelmed by domestic concerns like the economy. If there is evidence that Iran can't be an honest broker, maybe overstating things, but if they are ultimately a dishonest broker, this policy will be re-examined in light of that. And again, we start looking down to 2012. This is something where I think you'll see a Mitt Romney or a Tim Pawlenty or whoever winds up being the nominee drawing clear distinctions of what a Republican administration would do in regards to Iran and what the president did.
Steve.
Yeah, we're there already. The president knows Iran is dealing in bad faith, and this is what's, I think, truly scandalous about this particular report. This was briefed. The U.S. intelligence community has known about this for weeks. This was briefed, as you said, to Congress on October 22nd, again on October 29th, and the president just Tuesday said, well, we hope to engage Iran. We hope to erase a past of suspicion and mistrust. So at the exact same time that the president is being told they're lying about weaponizing a nuclear weapon, weaponizing nukes, he's saying to the country and to the world and to the Iranian leadership, we need to get to a point where we trust each other.
Very quickly, 10.2% unemployment. How big?
Big and very bad news for the White House.
Chris.
Big and dangerous because in politics, perception sometimes matters more than reality. No matter all the figures you can cite about GDP growth, if people are out of jobs come 2010, mid-2010, they're not going to feel like the economy is recovering, and that's trouble for Democrats.
Charles, I was struck by the fact that the chart, when they were pitching the stimulus, they said 7.9% the stimulus was going to get the unemployment rate to there. The chart that they used didn't go beyond 10. It's now at 10.2.
And the chart also said in the absence of stimulus, we would have unemployment of 8.8%. Well, in the presence of stimulus, it's at 10.2. The timing, however, is helpful if you're a Democrat. It happens 3 days after the election and a year away from the election in 2010.
That is it for the panel, but stay tuned for, well, I can't even explain it. Just stay tuned.